Hi, my name is Russ, and I want to show you how to make a script that you can run via Alexa, via chkdsk. Sorry, I gotta say your name a few times. So you have Alexa run a command on your computer, and it's a script, and it'll take a while to run, and at the end of it, you want Alexa to say the result, like good or bad. So in my case, I'm running chkdisk, and it's gonna, at the end of it, say chkdisk good or chkdisk bad, depending on whether it found errors on my C drive. So I'll demonstrate really quick. Alexa, turn on chkdisk. So what it's doing is creating a, oops, don't want that yet. What it's doing is it's creating a log, which I can just bring up with VS Code here. And at the end of the log, it will eventually say no further action is required if it doesn't find errors on my C drive. And if it does find errors, it will say, it won't say that. And as a result, the script that it's running at the end will send back good or bad. So if it finds no further action is required, send result will be good instead of bad. And then that's Alexa's prompt to say, check this good or bad. And the way that works is I've got these three commands, but let me focus on the last one first, this chkdisk report one. Hold on, it's about to say it.
Chkdisk good.
There. It found no further actions required, so it said chkdisk good. So anyway, this chkdisk report command, let's look at the script a second. Report chkdisk status. That's this one here. It is basically typing the, so hold on, I'll show you what this command does. If you're not familiar with type, this command, it just basically types out the contents of the file that you specify. So it sends the contents of the log file to the find command, which is looking for no further actions required. And if it does find it, error level will be 0. But if it's 1, that means it didn't find it. So we want to go to the bad section down here, and all that does is it runs send result bad. But if it is error level 0, it'll go to good, which is it'll go to good, which is right here. And yeah, so it's either going to go to good or go to bad, and send good or bad. So you still might be wondering, well, okay, say, how is it? I still don't know how Alexa is saying check this good or bad. Well, I'll get to that. So what the first script that ran does is it deletes the log, then creates the log as it runs chkdisk, and at the end of that it runs this tcmd command to tell it on this computer, -c is computer, on this computer run this command chkdisk routine, which is right here. And this command, it's actually just going to run echo on my computer, which it's kind of like a throwaway command, because the point of this command is actually to have Alexa run a routine. So let's see here. Here's the routine. I just called it chkdisk report, and it runs when routine is pressed, which is routine is just the name of, or the voice word for my my chkdisk routine command that I ran with this command here. So again, running this command on my computer told this Alexa routine to run, and this Alexa routine has this custom action, and the custom action says, basically it has Alexa say to itself, effectively, ask chkdsk to run report. Sorry, that got truncated, but believe it or not, it is report, and report is the voice word for this command, this chkdisk report command, which again is what I went through earlier. It's basically looking at the log to look for this text, and if it's good or bad, it sends good or bad. And so the send result command is, you know, a script that comes with the trigger CMD agent, and if you give it good, it'll and you have to give it send back a result within like 5 seconds. So that's why I couldn't just, you know, run one command and include the chkdsk command in it, because chkdsk takes longer than 5 seconds or so. So I had to do, you know, I had to run this routine at the end of the chkdsk to have it run this command, which will reply with chkdsk good or bad, because I've got this I guess curly brace result in that voice reply field, and it's just sort of a placeholder for whatever gets sent back via send result. So there's a little more I have to explain. I mean, you can kind of walk through the whole process here, but I won't do that here. I want to explain there's a couple things you have to do to make this work. Now, chkdsk, if you run chkdsk, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. So anyway, if you run chkdsk right here, just in a regular command prompt window, it'll say access denied, and that's because to run chkdsk, you actually have to be in an elevated administrator command prompt, which I'll show you quickly how you open that up. If you just search for CMD and then right-click command prompt and run as administrator, you'll get one. You'll know it's an elevated, you know, as administrator command prompt by the fact that it says administrator here. But I already had one here, so I'll use it. So let's see. So chkdsk has to run as administrator, which it can do by running as a background command. I want to show you this. So I've got 3 commands here. The initial command is the chkdsk run one, and it runs in the background, which means it'll run in the context of the trigger CMD service, which you have to install, by the way, by right-clicking and clicking background service, install background service. And so let me show you this. The background service is right here. It's one of your Windows services, and notice it runs as local system. Now the script is right here. The initial script. It deletes the log and then creates it as it runs chkdsk, and then when it's done with that, it runs this tcmd command to run the next trigger CMD command, which runs the routine. Anyway, though, this trigger tcmd command, if it runs in the context of the you know, of a local service account, it's not going to find the triggers the token file to authenticate it by default. So what you have to do is copy your token file into this folder, which is a subfolder of the local system user's profile folder, and that's explained at the bottom of this. You know, you can run these commands to do it. Basically, it CDs into the user profile for the system or the local system account, makes the trigger CMD data folder, and then copies your token into that folder. But you can see I've already done that. Oops. It's right here, token.tkn. So that's how the tcmd command is able to authenticate. Like if I delete that file, token.token, and then run tcmd, let's see, -L for list. Oh, I didn't expect it to. Oh, I know why. Because I'm actually logged in as myself, not local system. But when that command runs, you know, sorry if this is long-winded, but you know, it's important. When this chkdsk run command runs, it's running in the background, which runs it as local system, which requires that tkn file to be there. So I think that's it. let me know if I've been clear, and if you have any questions, you can post them in this forum post. And yeah, like, subscribe. Thanks. Bye.